by Farah Hannoun, June 22, 2019, 9:45 a.m. In less than a month, arguably the most stacked card of the year is set to take place, with UFC 239 featuring a championship doubleheader and some of the promotion's biggest names. The card also features undefeated Edmen Shahbazyan, the Dana White's Contender series alum who's looking to make a name for himself on the big stage as he takes on Jack Marshman in the featured fight in the early prelims. The Golden Boy, Shahbazyan, 9-0 MMA, 2-0 UFC, is just 21 years old and undefeated in his professional MMA career. It was about a year ago when he made his debut for the UFC through DWCS in the most impressive fashion, as it took him less than a minute to dispatch his opponent and secure a UFC contract. Shahbazyan then went on to win his next two fights, a split decision win over Darren Stewart and a TKO win over Charles Byrd in less than a minute, his seventh first-round finish. He now draws the gritty Welshman Marshman, and Shahbazyan plans on running right through him, too. He's a tough competitor, Shahbazyan told MMA Junkie. He's a veteran, about 30 fights. He's had like 6 fights in the UFC, but I see myself going in there and dominating him. I'm coming in there to always dominate and to perform to the best of my abilities. I see myself going out there and dominating every second of the fight. Be on the lookout for that, because I'm ready. Marshman, 23-8 MMA, 3-3 UFC, last competed in March at UFC London, winning a controversial split decision over John Phillips. He displayed his usual toughness, recovering from a knockdown and going the distance with Phillips. On such a stacked card like UFC 239, it's often difficult to stand out. Shahbazyan sees it as an opportunity for more eyes to see him perform. It's amazing fighting on another big card like this, Shahbazyan said. Jon Jones was the headliner for my last fight, as well. It's an incredible opportunity, and I'm just so blessed to be on such a big card. Shahbazyan is managed by a familiar face in the organization, UFC Hall of Famer Ronda Rousey, as well as her coach, Edmen Shahbazyan. Shahbazyan admits he's learned a lot being around Rousey in terms of preparation in and out of the cage. When I was younger, and she was fighting her big fights, I would see all those things, Shahbazyan said. She would always talk to us and just influence us about what's to come in the UFC. I will usually talk to her and sometimes see her after my fights, but she's always so busy and working all the time. With a massive opportunity ahead of him come, Shahbazyan hopes people will start to give him some recognition. He is ready to put on another impressive performance in front of a sold-out crowd. I always come out to finish, but I'm just prepared to dominate, Shahbazyan said. If it's a finish or a decision, I'm just going to put on a show for the fans. For more on UFC 239, visit the UFC Rumors section of the site. Edmen Shahbazyan, UFC 239 News. UFC lets block ads. Why?